wear my soul on my shoes, if not my heart upon my sleeve, if I'm not allowed to
Welcome to another book review by me. And today we'll be reviewing another diary. My Dork diary. Okay, have you ever read Dork diaries? I never did. So it's cool to be reading it right now because this is a perspective of a 14-year-old in the year 2020. And Little House on the Prairie was a 14-year-old in the year 1880. I related a lot to 1880 girls, but reading this was like a refresher because I read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and that was written by a boy with a boy as the main character. This one is written by a girl with a girl character. So it's cool to see the juxtaposition of the genders while they're 14 years old. 14 years old is like such a special age because it's the year that you start deciding or start realizing that you get to pick what you like. Or let me rephrase that. You get to be aware of what there is, that aware of what is being marketed for you to like. So when you're a 14-year-old girl in America, you like the boy band that's being promoted at the moment on the magazine covers, you like the color pink, and you like the store at the mall that's probably only going to be around for like 5 years, but it's super girl-tastic and girl-based, like a Justice, a Wet Seal, a Forever 21, an H&M. But okay, let's start. This book is based upon, look how cool the drawings are. It's so young and so youthful. While the Little House on the Prairie was very independent, strong-willed, and kind of serious because there wasn't really much ways to have fun besides riding horses and going on horse rides and reading newspapers. Like in the year 2020, you get to have the phone. You get to basically just have the phone. This is what happens when you give a teenager a phone, basically, is this series. I relate to the concept of dork. Do you? I love the word dork. Okay. This is how I read my books. Upside down and backwards. That's how I write my books. Okay. I loved seeing the dictation. Is that the word? Depiction? Trying to look for the word. Like portraying a picture of the mean girl in school and what a 14-year-old girl thinks of a mean girl. Because I grew up as a boy, being perceived as boy in a smaller town than your biggest town, right? So I never got to relate too much to what girls were reading, what girls were doing. So it's cool to like kind of get a glimpse of how a girl thinks. And this is like a really cool way to see all the language and see all the cheerfulness. And what does a girl care about at 14-year-olds? They care about lip glosses, they care about boy bands, they care about glitter, and they care about cupcakes. Isn't that like so pure? So much funner to be a girl, right? But I love that, like the hyperbolism, is that a word? The hyperbole of the emotions a girl feels based on the basic mundane aspects of life. Like someone looking at you weird, you're gonna like write in your diary that you found your soulmate, or you're being watched and gonna be attacked and from a murderer. Like, I love that. I mean, it's kind of like traumatic, but traumatic is fun if you let it be. I think this was written in 2020, so it's interesting to see an artist, the authors, Rachel Renee Russell's escapism and how she used what was happening in the world in 2020, took the little aspects of it and put it into a creative outlet. Pretty cool. It's nice to see someone's escapism project. This is my escapism project. Life is my escapism project. If you could go back in time to be any age again, what age would you pick? I wouldn't mind 14-year-olds. Because at 14-year-old, I liked One Direction. I liked Elf makeup from the Target section. My number one product and all my friends' number one product was the Elf brow gel, and that was it, the Elf brow gel. I went through like so many of those. You remember how one side had eyebrow gel and one side had mascara, clear mascara? I would love the eyebrow gel, but then when you use a clear mascara on your brows, it would like crystallize and get hard and like have like a clear residue. Those were the days when all you needed was eyebrow gel and you were ready for school. And a brow wax. Oh, no, not a brow wax, a brow threading. That's what I did at 14-year-old. So kind of girl-based, right? I used to get my brows threaded with eyebrow gel on them, listening to One Direction, what is it? Midnight Memories. Yes, that was like the album that I first like fully understood was Midnight Memories. But now I listen to it and I understand how pop perfection it was made. Not in like good songs. It had really good songs, but it was like made to be perfect. There's no mistakes on it. And I like mistakes. But that's what a boy band's supposed to do and be, right? Perfect. This was more just of a fun read. So I recommend this to anyone, any age actually, because whoever you are, no matter what gender, no matter what age, you understand. Maybe you don't understand, but you get to see and absorb how a 14-year-old feels in America and what they take seriously and what they take for granted. And it's kind of beautiful to capitalize it in a book. Don't you love the cover? Emojis, super 2000. And super like Diary of a Wimpy Kid with like the sticker decaled style. Very beautiful stylized book. And there's a picture of someone taking a selfie. You couldn't get this I was gonna say album cover, this book cover on a Little House on the Prairie book. Here, let me get it to compare them. A girl in 2020 will have idolizing pop stars and taking selfies of himself. Well, a 14-year-old in 1880 has a baby, a dog, her own house, and her husband. Like, the same story, but different. Imagine the 14-year-old in 2222. They're gonna look back at our 14-year-olds in 2022 as super independent or super cool. Because I think Laura in this book is really cool. And Nikki in this book is very cool. But that was me time traveling with you. I recommend reading a Dork Diaries book because it was an easy read. It was feminine and it's bigger than what you think. Because when you're reading it, you don't think it's that much, but you get to like absorb the languages and the fonts, and it's just fun. Like, I can't really like explain to you what the book is because it wasn't that like interesting, but it was more eye-opening. But peace out.